Hello, I'm Mistress Katherine, and welcome to today's episode of Bondage on a Buck. For today, we are going to make a leather flogger. You can always use another one of those, right? So what you're going to need is a saw, a 5/8 dowel, or whatever fits your hand best. Just note that you'll be putting things around the handle just a little bit. So it's going to be a little thicker than it currently is. And since these usually come in like 36-inch lengths, that's a whole lot of wood. So you'll be able to make several handles out of this. Sorry about that. You'll need a scissor, leather, glue. The first thing we're going to do is cut the handle to length. So remove this to the side. Mr. Glue Bunny will watch it for me. So I have no idea how many handles I've made from this now. This is quite nice. So my handle for me is about 6 inches. Nice length. But if you prefer a longer handle, go for it. It's totally up to you. I think I've seen a lot of handles that are usually like about 12 inches. So that's a lot. There's different size. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of different sizes at the dungeon that I work at. So it's just totally your preference. Oh yes, that wasn't smart for me to hold this. So you saw me hold the blade, don't do that. This blade is so worn, so it doesn't matter to me, but your blade might be a lot sharper, so don't touch the blade. I think I have enough for 2 handles, which I'll need for another episode. No, this looks good about here. We're going to sand off your handles, or handle, depending on how many handles you're making. Sweet. Now you won't have to watch me cut another one in a different episode. Isn't that great? Alright, then clean off your area. Alright, so now that our table is clean and this has been cut, we are going to look at the leather we have. Now you're probably saying, but Mistress Katherine, leather is so expensive. Well, I bought this stuff because I was redoing a barber chair a long time ago. So yeah, I bought like a big cow, like hide or whatever it was for like 100, whatever. But so I was able to use the leather for the original project. I had this left over, so you might have leather left over from a project you did. Otherwise, you also might have leather skirts or leather jackets. You might have an outfit already that is like has holes in it. Whatever the reason. I know I had a leather jacket once where it got really like frayed on the cuffs and whatnot. And silly me, well, this is a long time ago, but I threw it away. I could have saved that leather. So there you go. There's so many places you can get leather from, or you can even go to like a thrift store and pick up like a leather skirt. So you only need so much anyway. So, or if you have a hunter friend and they do stuff with hides, just ask around. You might be surprised. All right, so now we are going to look at the leather we have. If you are using leather from a skirt or a jacket, your job's so much easier right now because everything's straight lines. I have a lot of pieces. So right now I'm going to find the biggest piece that I could possibly make something from. This one looks like a great candidate right here. This one is really nice, but I don't see it being more than just a handle. Because what we're going to do, I guess we can do it right about there. Let's see this. So how I kind of saw this is you would stick your handle in here and there'd be leather left. But if you're like me, you don't have a whole lot of leather, you're just going to have to do this edge here. Or, the top, the tip. All right, so we will use that one for that. All right. So I'll save this chunk for another time. Oh yes. I'm sure I can find a use for that later. Yeah, the leather I'm using, I believe it would be called suede because it's made of lamb. Okay, and then, all right, so if you have a draw gauge, use it. Otherwise, you're gonna freehand it like I am. So, I am going to fold it over. I'm gonna try to make as straight line as possible. And if it's not totally straight, that's okay. Because you can always cut it later. Again. Okay, that looks good. All right, so here's what we're going to do. That'll be good. All right, so you're going to find where this ends right here, or I should say stops. So the end of this is right here. So we have this much that we're going to use. So for me, this flogger is going to be small. If you have more leather, power to you. Use it. All right, so let's get started with this. So I would suggest putting glue all over the bottom. And that's okay if it gets on the bottom edge and leaks, because that part will be covered eventually. Once you have your glue on there, you are going to just roll it. Easy, eh? Nice and tight. Of course, if it's straight, if you did nice straight lines, this can go on a lot easier. All right, cool. Well, that can be like that, that's fine. All right, so once you have it all rolled up, hopefully yours looks a bit better than mine. Mine looks like one of those child toys with a ribbon. Then all you have to do now is cut into it. So all the way down to the bottom. Now if you have a Cutco scissors, it's probably going to be really easy. If you have a regular scissors, probably not so much. And so what you might want to do then is like cut before you rolled it, like every inch or so. That's always an option too. There we go. So that is the gist of this. Of course, you can go in to each one and cut it more. You want smaller ones. So I've seen these types of floggers where they have like 1 inch thick or even smaller. I'm doing mine a little smaller. Does this look nice? Well, I think what we're gonna do now that it is all cut up, we are gonna glue a nice little handle for this. Well, I mean the handle, but I should say handle cover. We're gonna glue a nice handle cover for this. All right, now what we're gonna do is we are gonna cover the bottom first. So if you want to get like a little pen, you can. Otherwise, you can try to hold this and cut. I'm going to. Just be careful not to cut your finger off. Kind of need your fingers. Probably thin layer is all you need. I always tend to overdo it. It's right about there. And if you'd rather paint your handle, you can do that. So you'll do a nice thin layer of glue all over. Oops. And just smooth it right on. And there we go. Oh, should we try it out? Oh, Mr. Blue Bunny. I think it works. Hear that nice sound? Mwah. So there you go. A nice new flogger for you to enjoy. Pretty much everybody I know has an animal. No, not that type of animal, but you are pretty close. they either have a cat or a dog. Well, if you happen to have one of those, then you happen to have one of these. Or you should, because it's always proper to leash and collar your animals. Yes, even cats, especially if you live where I live, where cats have to be on a leash. Yes, that's correct. Anyway, but if you happen not to have an animal besides your play toy, then go out to the dollar store and pick up a collar. They're only $1. So here's the fun things that you can do with it. Of course, you have to get it unpackaged first. But if you don't like messing with and doing this yourself, and it would be more fun anyway for your sub to unwrap his new collar himself. Or herself. I tend to use he a lot because most of my subs are boys. Or men. I know, I might get crap over that, so. Anyway, I prefer the collars. You can get leather collars. Of course, they're gonna be more expensive. You won't find leather at the dollar store, but your next best bet would be Walmart. I wouldn't go to a pet supply store because they're expensive. I was looking for a pink leash for one of my subs. $20! Went to Target, I got it for $6. Anyway, so I'm not gonna put this on myself, although I know I've had some requests for people to see me all shackled and collared. But this is what I got Mr. Blue Bunny for. So of course this can be adjusted. These collars can be adjusted, however, whatever length you need it to be. I could just shorten it there. It's been a long day. But anyway, so get it to whatever length you need it to be. And voila. You've got a nice collar. Oh, I should tell you, you should get the collars that have like a D-ring to it. Because if you have a collar with a D-ring, they can attach a leash and you can make them walk. You can do all sorts of things. I like to, when I go out, if I go out somewhere with a sub, of course, make him wear a collar that has the D-ring. Of course, you can always do puppy play with the collar, because that's the whole point, right? Anyway, so I want you to look around your house and see what other fun toys you can find.